planet Smurl claim that an evil presence has found its way into their home.
8 people live in this house. 8 people have experienced this. 8 people are not crazy.
So, when did this start?
Heather's confirmation.
7th of September.
There's something in the attic.
Ed, there's an evil here. Something I've felt before.
The Conjuring Last Rites. Yeah, we'll see about that. The fact they've already greenlit a prequel. So, that lasted very long, did it? But anyway, so we have The Conjuring 4. Now, I've reviewed the parts 1 through 3. Did it part of the, I think it was the 13 reviews of Rites. I think last year as of when I'm recording. And I really liked both of ones. And the third one was not bad. This is on that same level of 3. Where it was like, not bad, but that could have been a lot better. Now, when I heard that they were going to be doing a 4th Conjuring film, I immediately went, of course they are, because this thing, you're never going to say goodbye to it, despite the fact that 3 had a good finale. Like, that was a nice, like, okay, we're done. Like, we're done. We're not doing anymore. But Warner Brothers just said, oh, the hell you are. The hell you're not going away. We'll tell you when you're going away. So then they said, okay, we'll do one more. And now we have this. So with this movie, it is on, they say that it's the last case that they ever worked on. Now, if that's true or not, I have no idea. Because I didn't have time to wiki this shit. So if it is, there it is. But they go to Philadelphia, I believe it's 1986. And they come back to something that was actually part of their first case they ever worked on. When just before, while Lorraine was pregnant. And so it's now it's kind of like come back full circle to them. So now they have to deal with that. But they also have to deal with the fact that Judy, their daughter, is now experiencing stuff of her own and gets roped into this. So, first things first, Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, they're great as these investigators. And, this was a nice finale to their run. Because, the fact that they've been doing this since, 2013, so over a decade, is just crazy. And the fact they were in, 4 Conjuring films. They were in Annabelle Comes Home. And I think a cameo in Annabelle, but I don't really count that. So they were in 5 of these movies. That's pretty impressive. For, 12 years for 5 movies, that's pretty impressive. And, this was a nice way to end it. Especially the last 5 minutes. I thought was a really... That was like, all right, that was a nice way to wrap everything up and we're done. We're done. So that was a really nice thing. The first 15, 20 minutes, I really enjoyed. Like, I really liked it. Because, they do something that I think when done right, it is extremely powerful and extremely emotional. And it has to do with parenthood. It has to be with being a parent, even if you're, not a parent. Like for me, I think about when I watch movies like the original Poltergeist, and that movie makes me sad. It makes me really sad, because it's like, what would you do in that situation? Like, you're a parent and all this crazy shit is happening and you have no control. And now your 4 or 5-year-old daughter just got sucked through a portal, and you can like hear her through static television, and the beast is literally keeping her away from coming back. It's like, that is scary. That's frightening. So it hits you. And that's what I think these, movies about, like, when you bring horror in with, family, they should really do that. Hit you in the gut. And the first 15 minutes of this do, where I'm like, damn, I actually wasn't expecting them to do that. But they did. It was like, see, that's upping the stakes. And that's really cool. And it also makes you think, what if your future kid, comes to you and they're all sad and they say, like, the nightmares, I can't make them go away. You feel powerless, and it makes you sad. It makes you really sad to see this, because you don't want that shit to happen, but they do that very well here. And so that was what I mean. Like, the first 15, 20 minutes, they really do that, and they really punch you in the gut. And I was like, damn, this is really good. The build up to the scares, much like 3, the build up to the scares is actually pretty good. I liked what they were doing with it. They were playing with shadows. They were playing with toys, which of course, in a Conjuring film, you're going to get that, but they do it pretty well. They do a really good job with setting it up. So yeah, I was really digging it. And then the second half of the movie kicked in. And it started going a little downhill. Now, what I mean by that is that when it came to the build-up of the scares, they played loud jump scare sounds. And it's like, no, don't do that, because you set this up really well. And it's like, you don't need these, like, giant, just a baseball bat hitting a drum sound. You just don't need it. Certain things from previous movies, especially in this universe, they don't change. Something scary is about to happen. Apparently everybody in the house disappears. The family don't know how to pay their electricity bill. It's like all that stuff. So it ticks all those boxes from the previous films that you're just like, okay, this has got to stop. Like, this is annoying. Certain plot points happen a little late than they should. Like, I'm not going to try to spoil a whole lot, but by the time that, Ed and Lorraine show up to the house, it's just about to hit the third act, where it's like, okay, in 1 and 2, they were there the whole time. And it was like, all right, this is the whole runtime. So by the time that they come in, it's like, oh yeah, that's right, we got to have this moment. And another thing too is that the family that we're focusing on, while we get to know them eventually, the movie then stops and then focuses on the Warrens for a while. And then when you cut back to them, it's like, oh yeah, that's right, they're here. So it should have been more of, we were kind of like what 1 and 2 did, is that it was a movie on the family, but also on the Warrens, because they were all in one place. So we were flip-flopping back and forth between that, so it wasn't so confusing. But with this, it is a little confusing. So, and yeah, and then how they even get roped into it, it was kind of like a guilt trip thing. I won't say what, but it did kind of feel like a guilt trip thing. Like, no, we have to do this. It's like, oh, that's the fuck we do. Like, this is stupid. And then it was just like oh, we have to do this. And then it was like oh, okay, let me get my bag. And I was like, what? Like, no. Like, really? Like, come on. So it really just kind of felt like a guilt trip on that. So, But, despite its second half being a little, downhill, this was still a good entry, but not a great one. There are spots in here where it could have been a lot better. It felt very 3 to me. I mean, the fact that it was the same director as 3. So it was like, all right, this could have been a lot better. But despite its faults, I don't think it was 100% a failure. It definitely wasn't like La Llorona, which the director of 3 and 4 did that, where that one was a complete failure. Annabelle, which was a complete failure. Annabelle Comes Home, which I didn't really like that. And then The Nun, I didn't really like that either. And I still haven't seen The Nun 2, but I was like, I don't really want to see that either. So, you know, this is honestly a universe that doesn't need any more. Like, we're done. I think a lot of people are done. I mean, people have been asking for a Crooked Man movie for a while. And the fact that Conjuring 2 came out almost a decade ago, next year it'll be a decade. And we still haven't gotten that movie, when it's like, everyone wants that. And the fact that they still haven't gotten that done is just kind of like, yeah, maybe we should stop this. The fact that we got an Annabelle trilogy, we got 2 Nun movies before a Crooked Man movie is just kind of stupid to me. But, you know, that's me. But anyway, I would give this an average. Despite some issues, it was a nice way to end Wilson and Farmiga's run as the investigators. Definitely, it's on the level of 3 and not on the same level as 1 and 2, because 1 and 2 are fucking good. And 3 was just like, okay, this is fine. This is all right. Not great, but not bad either. It's on that level. So, you know, I think if you want a nice, satisfying conclusion to the Conjuring movies, this would be a good one.
By the power of our Lord Jesus Christ!
I don't know how to protect you this time.